Okay, welcome back to another special episode of Yoda's Hut. This is the second game between myself and Jeremy at the Gamers Armory Summer Tournament. I'm joined once again by Derek for commentary. Hey, Derek, how's it going?
Doing pretty good.
All right, so in the first game of this round, as I said previously, we've only got three people here, unfortunately. It's myself, Jeremy, and Justin from Gamers Armory. So in the lights out game, I actually won the first game of the matchup that I played. Now we switched, and I'm playing Dark Side. I'm playing a Navy deck, but I wanted to do something a little different than standard Navy. I was going more for an officer build. So my build was 2 Tarkin Doctrine, 2 Enforced Loyalty, 2 Last Grand Admiral, 2 Protect the Generator, 1 Entrenched Defense, and 1 Imperial Entanglements. And Jeremy was playing a deck very similar to what he played in the last tournament we had at Gamers Armory a couple months ago. He actually just had one set different. It's a Jedi deck with Ewoks. He has 2 May the Force Be With You, 2 Spark of Rebellion, 2 Sacrifice at Endor, 2 Lost in the Forest, 1 Hero's Trial, and then 1 Hero's Duty, the new Endor Luke from Redemption and Return. My flop was Imperial Entanglements, Tarkin Doctrine, and Protect the Generator. I was able to put out the early warning system even though I didn't have any ships to play. A mouse droid, and then I played Dire. so he gains a gun for each Endor objective you control and a blast for each Endor objective your opponent controls. And I committed him to the Force to take balance. Jeremy started May the Force Be With You, Lost in the Forest. That's the objective that it's a force reaction when each person's refresh phase starts. You have to only pick 3 units that can refresh. And then Hero's Duty, which is that new Endor Luke one, which turns off cards in edge battles that aren't units for the dark side player while it's undamaged. So.
Well, it doesn't turn them off. It removes all the force pips.
Yeah, sorry,
right?
It removes their force pips is what I meant.
Yeah, so your fate cards will still trigger, but they do nothing in terms of winning the edge battle.
Right, and so Jeremy played Dagobah Training Grounds and one of the Homeland Defender Ewoks.
That's just the standard, like, 1 gun, white blast with nothing else,
right? Yeah, but what he has is he's in the Lost in the Forest set, and he's meant to help get around that his ability is you can react when your conflict phase starts and take a focus token off of him. So you can choose not to refresh him with Lost in the Forest and then free him up when you go to conflict. So it looks like he was trying to attack. Not sure what he was attacking, but I told him he had to use Tarkin Doctrine, and he went and paid the 2. And I'm sure I did that because I thought, well, if he has Yoda, you seek Yoda, then he's going to save those resources. But he's just going to swing at Tarkin Doctrine. I think I'll probably let it go so Dire doesn't get locked down because Dire is not elite.
Yeah.
So.
The thing with Dire is because of which icons he gets for which engagement, you can affect how many guns he gains by how much Endor you have in your deck, but how much Blast is really based on your opponent.
Right, exactly.
So he's not necessarily a great attacker unless you just happen to be going against a bunch of Endor stuff.
Right, yeah. And unfortunately,
with Ewoks, that's not a bad thing.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I think I'm telling him that since that was the first engagement, he didn't redirect. Then Protect the Generator technically puts a second focus token onto the Homeland Defender, but he's committing him anyway to free him up, even though I'm still going to keep balance there. And the dial will go to 3. So I probably should have just not used the mouse droid and committed that on my turn so I wouldn't have had to commit Dire, but I must have been trying to fish for something. So.
Yeah, well, you had the early warning and no ship, so
right.
I mean, at the very least, you need to start drawing cards to make use of it.
Yeah. So Yularen and her fist might be all right now.
Yeah.
Get that damage off there and turn off. There it is. And I think I'm probably going to turn off Hero's Duty because I know how annoying that can get.
Oh, yeah. That is super obnoxious.
And that might have been another reason why I didn't defend. Maybe I wasn't going to be able to... I didn't want to pitch what units I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, if he's only going to do 2 damage anyway, you can care less. If you've got Yularen, you want him to do the 2 damage.
Right. I don't think I had Yularen. I think I actually just drew him what it looked like. And then I'm going to play an Endor ATST, which that lets you sort of, if you have an Endor objective, you can focus an Endor objective to basically double strike with the ATST. Well, you can take a focus token off of it.
And that's limit once per phase. So you can theoretically do it and then still unfocus him, on a different phase if you needed him for the force or as a defense, another blocker or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and commit the Maelstrom. I didn't use it, and I think I was considering attacking with the ATST, except I was worried if he had a Seeds, I didn't want my stuff to get locked down, so I tried to play it safe there. Because I could have attacked with the ATST and then freed it up with early warning system. But I didn't want Dyer to get there. So he just played one of the Ewok Hunters that when it enters play, you draw a card. And when it leaves play, you draw a card.
Yeah, those are fun.
And then the Endor 3PO, which gains a force icon for each Ewok you control.
I wish they hadn't capped him at 3.
Yeah.
For that ability. I mean, there's so many 3s out there.
Right.
It's just. I could see capping it at 4 would have made him really cool, but capping it at 3 is just nothing special.
Yeah. So I used the mouse droid and he let me go ahead and use them. And it looks like he's going to swing with the Ewok Hunter.
Oh, he's got tactics. And he doesn't care if he gets killed.
Right, because then he'll just bounce. Yeah, or he'll just get to draw a card, is what I mean.
Yeah. Well, you've got Imperial Entanglement, so you've got extra guns on your guys for the first. So if you block, you're probably going to kill it. He'll likely focus something else and then let you do the damage to it.
Yeah, so now if I block with Dyer, I could force him to have to focus Dyer, or I could focus something. So I actually used Tarkin Doctrine again, and it's like he might pay again.
I think either way, he's going to want to put that focus token on Dyer, whether you block them or not.
Yeah. So I think we're going back over about how if he actually chooses not to attack there, then Protect the Generator won't go off. But he decided he wanted to pay for it and go. And again, I probably breathed a sigh of relief that meant I wasn't going to get hit with a Yoda, you seek Yoda, because he didn't have the resources left.
Yeah.
And I'm going to block with Yularen, because if he doesn't focus him, I'm going to be able to kill that Ewok.
Yeah, I don't think he's that heartbroken over it just because he gets to draw another card if you do.
Yeah. And I've got, looks like I see a Tarkin in my hand.
That would be good.
I think he'll be coming out the next turn. All right, so.
It's unlikely that you have him and don't play him. You better have something pretty amazing to play instead of Tarkin.
Yeah, well, I think I played Yularen then.
He is.
Right, yeah. Well, I played Yularen that turn. I couldn't have played them both unless I wanted to focus Tarkin to do it.
Sure.
So what I do? Oh, I think I had a supporting fire there, and he had a Seeds, a Battle of Endor, which is like full 4 things, and 3PO. So
I don't think you're winning that one.
No, that's why I said I didn't have Palpatine in my deck. I think that's exactly what I told him. So he Seeds Dyer, he focused
the Walker,
and he shot Yularen for 1, but with Imperial Entanglements, I'm going to get to shoot that Ewok Hunter.
Yeah.
But he'll get to draw a card when I kill him. At least I'll get it off the board with the tactics.
Right.
Oh, and he's playing, I can't remember what the card's called, but it's the card that lets you bring return to the forest, or whatever it is that when an Ewok leaves play, you can bring it back to your hand. So that was annoying.
Get some more card drawing.
Yeah. I did keep that turned off. Now, so he's going to win balance this time. Unless he attacks with both of them. But, well, actually, even if he does, he can still get balance back with 3PO, because 3PO will have 1 icon if he uses May the Force be with you. And I can't block, so it seemed like he might as well swing and get some damage in here to me.
Right.
So he's going to send... It's like he's trying to decide, does he want to send the Ewok that's committed or not? Now he's living a little dangerously here, as we just saw with Yularen. Even though it's not like the standard, it doesn't have Might of the Empire. I don't have Endor Entrapment in here. I've still got Yularen in fifth, so unless he can one-shot the objectives, he's always got to run the risk stuff might just come back at him. So he did attack with 3PO, and then he's attacking with the Ewok Homeland Defender too. So he's getting 2 damage on Protect the Generator and Tarkin Doctrine. Committing 3PO and taking balance back since 3PO has 1 icon thanks to the 1 Ewok.
Well, Yularen also is already on the table, so the only way you clear off both of those is if you draw both your fists.
Right. So now I'm trying to think, what do I want to do here? Because I can only refresh 3 units thanks to Lost in the Forest. But with early warning system, if I leave the ATST free, then I could free that up on his turn. So I think that's what I'm trying to decide. Do I want the potential card draw, or do I want to actually strike with the ATST? And I'm going to choose potentially get the card draw, make him focus 3PO if he doesn't want to.
Well, you can also use a resource to free up the Walker, too. With his
that's true. I could just free him up with the Endor objective. I think I only have 1 Endor objective. You have to focus an Endor objective to do it.
Oh, okay.
And there's Tarkin.
See, that becomes nasty, because now's when you have things like, oh, you can only refresh 3 guys, but you blank it on your turn and not on his, and you refresh everything, and he refreshes 3.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. I just asked on the boards about this because it came up yesterday, and it turned out we ruled it the right way. Tarkin cannot blanket and stop it. And it's because of the timing rules that Lost in the Forest is a forced reaction. So it always happens before regular reaction. So on both players' turn, Tarkin technically can't affect it because that has to go off first. Yeah. So and
even though that text can be rendered blank.
Well, you can't blank it before it goes off because Tarkin reacts to a phase starting, but that's a forced But that's a forced reaction to the phase starting.
Oh, it's a phase starting effect.
Right, okay. Right. It's a phase starting effect. So I actually, that's how we played it, and I asked on the boards and got confirmation from DB Meeboy earlier, actually, that we did play it the right way. So I swung with Yularen, got 2 damage on Lost in the Forest, and he's only going to get to take 1 off of the Homeland Defender, and I'm sure he's probably a little disappointed at that. And I still have Tarkin here, which... And I've got 2 resources, which means I was probably trying to think that I need to blank anything on his turn or my turn. And I'm using early warning system after we're switching turns to take the Endor ATST focus token off.
I didn't think a forced reaction changed the speed, because like when you compare Tarkin with Gammer, for example, it's who has the first initiative. Like on the dark side player's turn, you would get a chance to blank before Gammer could trigger. On the light side player's turn, they can trigger before Tarkin can blank. So I would have thought it would have been the same situation here.
Well, Gammer isn't forced. That's the difference. It's the way the rules are, anything that's forced, interrupts, or reactions have priority over, have to take place before regular interrupts or reactions. So Lost in the Forest is forced. Tarkin is just a regular reaction. And that's why it doesn't. Whereas Gammer, you can blank it because... you can blanket on the dark side.
Yeah, because of priority.
Right, because of priority.
Yeah, I didn't realize that made it faster because.
So
I thought they still went at the same speed.
Yeah, so because I remember we talked about it during this game because I was trying to think, could I do it, and we decided we shouldn't be able to, and that turned out we got confirmation that's right. So he's attacking with the Ewok Hunter, and then he's taking the token off the Homeland Defender when his conflict phase starts, because that's what it can do. So even though it was double focused, that didn't really matter as far as he could eventually clear him up. So here we are again. He's going after Imperial Entanglements, and I'm probably going to try to make him pay too with Tarkin Doctrine. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try to save Tarkin Doctrine to save itself.
Now, you haven't blanked anything yet with Tarkin?
No, I have not blanked anything. I'm going to actually defend with Tarkin here.
So you could have blanked that Ewok so it didn't free up.
Yeah, I could have done that. Well, he saved those resources, and I know when he kept saving the resources, the whole time I was thinking, Yoda, you seek Yoda. And the reason I chose not to blank here is because I was figuring if I get hit with Yoda, you seek Yoda, I'll be able to blank May the Force be with you.
Right.
So he can't free him up. So I've taken my chances based on what he played. So I had a twist there. I twisted away a Luke. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Now I'm in danger of getting locked down, though, again. Well, actually, I guess not, because he'd probably have to hit Tarkin. So I would still probably have some defenders. Unless he has another Seeds.
And Tarkin's one black icon there. Which one is it?
It's the tactics.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's the tactics.
Yeah, so he has to block. He has to do that, or risk you focusing something else.
Right,
down.
right. Like his Ewok. Where's 3PO?
It just sounds. Oh, I got to be careful, or he's going to lock down my Ewok. That
right.
So underwhelming.
Right. Well, I'd probably rather hit the Ewok because if he would choose to strike with 3PO, then it would, 3PO wouldn't be able to free up, whereas the Ewok will free up either way.
Yeah.
So it looks like we both put 2 in. I might just be drawing cards out here because I thought when I kind of tilted my hand for a second, I think I have a Stormtrooper assault team there. So I'm probably trying to get as much as I can out of his hand. I think he won that edge battle. I only had like 2 or 3, and he had about 4 or 5. Now he's got to blank Tarkin. I mean, he's got to hit Tarkin with that focus, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would hit instead that's more important.
Right, because otherwise you're going to get tactics back at you.
Right. Dyer's got a black tactics too, doesn't he?
Yeah, Dyer's got a black tactics still.
Yeah.
And 2 guns right now because he has the one from the Endor objective plus Imperial Entanglements gives him the gun.
Yeah.
So he's trying to decide. He chose to put it on Dyer. That's okay. And so I'm going to shoot the Ewok for 2, and he'll get to draw a card. Oh, actually, I only shoot the Ewok for 1. I just got 1 from here. And he had to double focus that Ewok because of Protect the Generator. And I focused 3PO. See, I probably should have focused the Ewok instead. That was kind of dumb. Alright, so the fact he focused Dyer makes me think maybe he's getting ready to play Yoda. You seek Yoda here? Because then he wouldn't have to worry about a tactic stopping Yoda.
Right.
So,
and you've got the Walker left. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there's Yoda. You seek Yoda. So Dow will go up to 5 this time.
So the Walker has a black blast and a white gun. Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
So that can't handle Yoda. If he chooses to attack with Yoda, I'm going to probably just stay out of the way.
Yeah. Now, did you use Tarkin Doctrine yet?
I think I did not use Tarkin Doctrine because I was trying to save it for itself in case he was able to swing at it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
now with Yoda and the Ewok, he can potentially blow something up.
Yeah, so I think maybe he went to swing at it and I let him swing it, Protect the Generator. Or I used Tarkin Doctrine, he couldn't pay. But whatever happened, he blew up Protect the Generator there.
Yeah.
And he's focusing Dyer, it looks like. I think is where he's pointed.
That makes sense. He's the one that's not elite.
Oh, he focused the ATST. Probably because of Lost in the Forest, so that's going to make me choose.
Oh, that's right.
Now, I think here Jeremy forgot, I think he was forgetting how Tarkin worked, and I told him I was going to blank May the Force be with you. And I remember asking me, I think he said, I thought that couldn't hit objectives anymore. I said, no, that's Endor entrapment. It doesn't work on objectives anymore. Tarkin still works on objectives. And since May the Force be with you doesn't happen until after you commit things,
right.
Tarkin would have priority over that still. So, yes. Yeah, so I think he's reading it to make sure. I'm like, yeah, that's not the one that got switched. Sorry, Jeremy. That's why I held those resources back the whole time. You can fight with Yoda, but he's not freeing up to defend.
Yeah, you need need to make sure now that you keep putting extra tactics on Yoda and keep blanking it so you never have to look at him again. You can deal with, if you can keep Yoda locked down, you can deal with the Ewoks.
Right.
A lot easier than you can deal with him.
Right. Now, so I have the tactics since he let me keep Dyer only single focused, but I'm not sure if I really want to do that to Yoda. I guess it might depend on what else I draw here. Like I said, I had that Stormtrooper assault team, if I remember right. Now he doesn't have anything free. I'm probably better off just playing that and shooting Yoda.
Yeah, if you can kill him, that's clearly a better option.
Right. So I think this is where we were talking about the Tarkin versus Lost in the Forest, and I think we agreed that the Force reactions hit first, and like we mentioned earlier. And like I said, I was glad DB Meeboy on the boards on Card Game DB answered my question. I actually posted 3 different questions about that related to games we played yesterday, and it turned, according to him, we did every single one of them right, so that was good. So this was one of them. The other one involved the Homeland Defender in a different game that and Dark Lord of the Sith, actually. So I just flipped up last Grand Admiral. I chose to free up Yularen, Dyer, and Tarkin. I let the Mouse Droid stay focused, and I let the Endor AT-ST stay focused since I knew I could free him up if I needed to on his turn. And so I've got 6 resources, but I probably definitely want to keep something free for at least one free for Tarkin to blank things if I need to.
Yeah.
What I'd really like to do is get rid of Lost in the Forest. There is good old Stormtrooper assault team. And I think it's got Yoda in his crosshairs right now.
That's what he gets used for, probably more than anything else.
Yep. And there's a Decimator.
That works great with Imperial Entanglements, and especially Promotion and Ion Cannon, where you can give him tactics.
Right. Now, so I don't have an Endor objective anymore, which means I can't just free up my Endor AT-ST with that. And it also means Dyer doesn't have a gun anymore. But he still has 2 Endor objectives, so Dyer actually has 2 blasts right now.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, the only one that's not is Dagobah, right?
Right.
Or May the Force is Dagobah.
Right, that's right. So I'm sitting there looking at this and like thinking, is it even help me to blow up Lost in the Forest? Or is it going to hurt him if I don't blow it up? And I realized it wouldn't, because the Ewok Hunter wasn't going to free up anyway. And so with the Homeland Defenders tax, it's going to free up no matter what I do. So I think I'm deciding that I want to get rid of that stupid Lost in the Forest now, so I'll have a full team next term if I want them. It's just a matter of how I want to do it. And so now I could attack it with Yularen and the Decimator, and then I could free the Decimator up for defense with early warning system if I want to.
That sounds like a pretty good way of doing it. You do have tactics with Dyer.
Yeah.
So you can use that and then still blank something.
So I'm going after Hero's Duty, and I'm shooting Yoda there. So I'll just get the unopposed, but at least I got rid of Yoda. Well, one Yoda. I'm sure there's at least one more in his deck. And I said, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking I got to just blow this up to get it off of here. If I just had a fist, it would have been easy. But
yeah.
But I did not have a fist, I don't think, at this point. Or I was saving it.
Now, you could still... I mean, that one Ewok's got 2 on him. If you put a 3rd on him, he's not going to free up.
Yeah, or I could put another tactics on 3PO and just... he wouldn't free up.
Yeah.
But I think I'm probably just going to keep my tactics as an option here. And to send Yularen and the Decimator in and blow up Lost in the Forest. Yep, that's sure what it looks like I'm doing. Now, if I had a... Yeah. I think I was a little hesitant to do it for fear if he had 2 Heroes Duties, one of those might flip up, but I decided that might be worth it at this point. So that'll move the dial to 6 actually now. And I've blown up an objective. And now it's probably a matter, do I want to actually attack anything else? Do I want to attack May the Force be with you just to try to potentially set up a win on my turn next time, assuming I can hold him off? And
Well,
yeah,
Dyer would put 3 on there along with the tactics.
yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, it
actually,
looks like
be
you're
two
just playing.
now. Yeah. So I used early warning system on the Decimator, and he flipped up Spark. So
Yeah, that might be useful for him.
now I still have Tarkin himself as a resource, and I left Lester and Admiral open too. So I can potentially blank May the Force be with you again.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like he discarded one of those things about the pulling the Ewok back to hand, or
Yeah.
one of those neutral cards from Sacrifice and Endor. So I've got Dyer with tactics, but he's committed, so he could get hit with seeds. Tarkin with tactics, but he's already got damage on him, so I got to be careful about that. And a Decimator, which can shoot first and get 2 damage in, but which would probably do alright against a lot of stuff in his deck, from what I can tell. So I think he tried to use Spark there and didn't hit it.
Yeah.
There is
Funeral Pyre.
Yeah, I did not want to see Funeral Pyre.
Now that only hits characters, right?
That only hits characters, so he can't hit the Decimator with the ATST against it. So that helps me at least, that he could hit Tarkin or Dyer if he wanted to, or
Sure.
anything, or the Stormtrooper if he wants to, and he could. The other thing is he could wait till it's my turn and then hit something that I might have wanted to try to attack with too.
Well, he can do it in response. I mean, you send in the Stormtrooper, he blocks with something and then locks it down. And then it's already focused, and now he can damage it.
Yeah, it probably depends on what else he might play here. So Dial's at 6. I've blown up an objective. He's blown up an objective. I still have Tarkin Doctrine out. Spark didn't hit, so I don't have to worry about that hitting again. Now, something that would have been helpful for me, I don't know if I just wasn't drawing them or I had better things I wanted to play, is I've got all these officers out there, and Nogri would have been nice to help protect them. But
yeah, you got 2 Thrawn in there.
Yeah, and there's another Yoda. You seek Yoda, so the Dial's going to go to 7. Yeah.
That means you only need 2 objectives now to kill. Because you got 1, so you need 2 more to win.
Yeah. All right, so he paid Yoda, you seek Yoda. He's going to get him, and for some reason I had a brain freeze there, thinking he actually had paid more than he needed to, but I forgot he had played Funeral Pyre that turn. I was looking at it, I think you paid 1 too many. He's like, no, I played Funeral Pyre. I said, oh yeah. so there's Yoda with his 7 guns now. So I need about 4 Nogris to help protect that. So that may not be an issue this turn.
Mm.
But the Dial going to 7, yeah, that probably isn't a big deal, because even if I keep balance, which hopefully I'd be able to do, unless he just doesn't attack with Yoda, I should be able to do that, because I can blank May the Force be with you.
Right.
But unless the Dial, worst case scenario, goes up to 9, so I'd still have to blow up 2. Although with he may not realize I don't have Empire Strikes Back in my deck, but he went and sacrificed 3PO before I went to conflict, or before he went to conflict, and put one on Dyer, and then he freed up the Ewok when he went to conflict.
Now, doesn't that focus the Funeral Pyre? There we go.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it does. And I am probably going to just let him shoot. Keep my Decimator and Tarkin alive. Yeah, I could do 2 damage to something with the Decimator and strike first, but I couldn't do 3 and take out Yoda.
Yeah, but you could kill the Hunter, so all you can swing with is Yoda. And you can still blank May the Force, which means he won't have it for force or defense.
So I don't know what he was. I think he might have been attacking Tarkin Doctrine there, and I made him pay, but he went ahead and paid.
Yeah, the Tarkin tax.
Yeah. So now I'm probably I'm not sure if he's attacking with both or not.
I think it's just Yoda.
Oh, he had 2 targets there. He didn't need to play both of those. I think I just told him that. I'm like, you didn't need them both, so I let him put one back in his hand.
Yeah, that's his second objective.
Yeah, so he focused the decimator there. Yeah. So I still have Tarkin, but Tarkin's not committed. So he's going to actually get balance back even without being able to free up Yoda. But I said 8 or 9 doesn't really matter for me. I'd have to blow up 2 either way to win on my turn.
Yeah, unless it ends up going one more turn.
Right.
But yeah.
But I do have some blast on the table. The bigger problem is he's still got a defender right now. So.
Yeah, you'd have to lock down that defender.
Right. And he's got 3 cards in hand, so I really need a good edge hand.
Well, you could do it just by sending, Tarkin or, Dai or whoever, someone with tactics, but then you still need enough blast to take out the other 2 objectives that you attack.
Right. See, Dyer wouldn't only have the 1 gun from Imperial Entanglements now.
Well, that's more or less irrelevant. It's all about the tactics.
Right.
It's tactics and the blast. You don't care if you kill him, you just have to lock him down.
Right. So I'm blanking, may the Force be with you. Again. But he will take balance back with the Ewok. Now he doesn't have any resources, but he's got 3 cards. But yeah, I think that's going to help me here, that I should be able to lock the Ewok down. And probably the main thing I need to worry about is if he still has a seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dial went up to 8 there, I think. And I got entrenched defense.
Okay,
and
so you got blast. Yeah, I mean, all 4 of those guys in the front have a blast.
Right.
What are the other 2? I forgot.
I got a mouse droid, Endor ATST.
Okay, so only the mouse doesn't have blast right now.
Yeah, the Stormtrooper assault team.
Yeah.
All right, so I tried to use the mouse droid, I think.
And in reality, you could use the Stormtrooper assault team to shut him down. You just send him and kill the Ewok if he doesn't block, and you don't care if he wins edge.
Right.
So yeah, it's really about the seeds and how much damage you can get on the table.
Yeah, so I got a Nogri. I gotta think I might try to use the mouse droid just to see if I can draw something else that might have blast. Unless I haven't. Oh, I might have enough with it on the table.
How much damage is on that one objective right now? Is it 2?
It's 3. There's 3 on Hero's Duty. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got enough on the table right now. The Endor can take it out, and the 4 up front can take out a second one, and you use the Stormtroopers to shut down or to kill the 1 blocker.
All right. He blocked. Well, he just made it, so I think I should be able to win unless he's got some trick now.
Yeah, that kind of seals it. Because he has no resources either.
Right. He may have forgotten that Dyer was going to get a blast.
Maybe.
But I think I should have enough if I do this right here. Because Dyer's got a blast because he's got Hero's Duty. The Endor ATST has a blast. Yularen has a blast. The Decimator has a blast. And Tarkin has a blast.
Yeah,
and
everything you got the front 4 have it.
Right.
Minus.
He had Kanan's concentration and just freed up Yoda.
Oh,
so now he had to do that and deploy, but that's 1 less card I have to worry about in his hand.
Yeah.
So. Well, now I definitely need to win an edge battle.
Yeah.
And hope he doesn't have a seeds. Now, he already played 1 seed, so...
Right.
And if I have
the one good thing is if everything goes awry here, as long as you leave that Stormtrooper out, he's probably got to focus something else to prevent you from winning, and you can probably use him to kill Yoda.
Yeah. So I blanked Yoda so he doesn't have any guns. Right.
Yeah,
and I think he just scooped. Okay. He had 3. I don't know what I might have had a twist still in my hand or something. So, all
Yeah.
right. So my Navy officer deck was able to pull that off without getting thrown or promotion, which was the whole idea of the deck. But that's all right. And like I said, Jeremy's Ewok deck gave me a little fits. He blew up 2 objectives there, and it was going to be a little tough for him to blow something up on his turn because I had entrenched defense at least and decimators and stuff. But
Yeah, it just kind of picks away at you.
yep,
Yeah, it's rather if you can't draw your Yularen or your Imperial Fist stuff, it can get pretty close pretty quick.
yeah. All right. Well, so do you have any final thoughts about this game? So that wraps up this round. So I actually swept Jeremy in this round of our round robin, which was pretty big wins for me because he's such a good player. I was fortunate to win both.
It was worked pretty good. Your dark deck, like you said, it didn't do what you wanted it to, but it's still, I mean, it's got enough good units and stuff to where it can still play just fine. By
Yeah.
if you don't pull off your combos. Ewok deck worked pretty well too. So
Yeah, I think it definitely did. All right, well, thanks for joining me for commentary, and everyone can look forward to more games from this tournament.